then I go here. And stream, hello. So here what we're doing is we're talking about the abacus. Now if we know, what we're going to do is we're going to read the abacus. We have it where, let's see if this is working. Oh, there it goes. Much better, much better. So this is an abacus. This abacus helps me figure out how to count on the abacus. What we're doing is we're going to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand that this is the horizontal bar. Anytime that the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is what's being counted. So when I do this, this is the beads. This is the bottom beads, just like how it says here. Bottom beads. These are the bottom beads. These are all the bottom beads, and then these are all the top beads. Now when we're looking, right, as the beads touch the horizontal bar, these are being counted. Now there's none of the beads being counted right here. That means this is what we call 0. So here is my number 0. So I have 0. 0 just means like that. It just means nothing. That's all it is. That's all it is. So when we're looking, right, we have 1. 1 looks like that. And if I did this, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all of this would be 1. Now what's our next number is our 2. Our next number is 2. That's what 2 looks like. However, this is 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. So what we're doing is we're just learning how to read the abacus. So if I move all of this up, this would all be 2. Now we have 3. 3 is that. It'd be 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 3, 2, 2. So if I made all of these 3, it would look like that. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then we have 4. Again, every time the beads are touching this horizontal bar, this thing right here, this horizontal bar, that's what's being counted. Because that's being counted, right, now we have 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3. It's like duck, duck, goose, but not really. So when we're looking, right, we could do all 4s. That's what 4s would look like. And then we have 5. Huh? What? What happened? Well, if I did 4s, these are all 4s, and then I move all of these beads at the top, like that, that is now 5. Okay. So what do we do? So we understand how to do 0, so let's review. 0 looks like this, and then 1 looks like, oh, you can't see 1. 1, there you go. 1 looks like this. That's what it looks like on the abacus. This is what 2 is. 2 on the abacus looks like this. And then 3 on the abacus looks like that. 4 on the abacus looks like that. So what are we doing? And then we got to figure out, well, how do we do 5? Well, after all of these activities, you know, because we're kids and we like to do activities, after we figure out activities, this is what 5 looks like. 5 is always going to be the top bead like this. So this is 0, this is 5. The top bead touching the horizontal bar is considered 5. This is what 5 is. So we do 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. These are all 5. So what I did is I just tilted all so they all touch the horizontal bar. Now they're touching the horizontal bar. These are all considered 5. And then we have 6. So when we look, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, how do I know? Because this is 5, this is 6. And then 5, 5. Now if I did all of these are now all 6s. That's what we're doing, is we're learning how to read the abacus. After we learn how to read the abacus, we'll do some adding and subtracting. How are we doing? Anybody have any questions? Oh my God, you guys are here learning math in the middle of the night. We are midnight mathing. Welcome everybody, welcome. I appreciate everybody joining and learning math in the middle of the night. Hello, welcome. So what we're doing is we're still counting and understanding how to read the beads. We have 6, now this is 7. After 7, we have 8. So it'll be 8, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7. So when we look at it, we have the top bead is 5, and then there's 3 beads, they're 8. So when I push them all up, now we have 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. And then we have 9. So of the sea of 8s, I have 1 9. But if I did this, now I have all 9s. So all of these are now considered 9. Now, let's review a little bit. What happens when we have 0? This is what 0 looks like. 0 looks like this. But what about 10? 10. 9. Yes. Thank you, Emka. Yes. Thank you. So we have 9, and now we're going to do 10. 10 is a 0 and a 1. Just like how we write on a piece of paper, we have 0 and 1. We have 0, 0, and 1. When we're looking, here is my place values. We have 1s, and tens. So now we know that every column is a place value. Each column signifies a place value. So as we go through, I'm sorry, this is 10. That's what 10 looks like because we have a 0 and a 1. And then 0 and a 1, that is going to be 11. Ooh, thank you. What is it when the blue beads are all like this? That's 5. So it's 55,555.55. That's what it would look like, right? Oh, but you said all the beads are up and all the beads are up. So all the bottom beads like this would be 44,444.44. Thank you for the question. So we have 44,444.44. Okay, Abacus is silly. Abacus is a little silly. Abacus is silly, but you make sure you're happy when you're using the abacus. We want to be happy when we do math. So that's what the I'm sorry, I don't even know how to say your name. But that's what it would look like if all the blue beads were up and all the bottom beads were up. That's what it would look like. It'd be 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So what's going to happen is now we know how to read the abacus. We have 12. When we're looking at 12, 12 looks like this, 1 and a 2. Oh, thank you so much, MCA, for the question. Yes, let me write the question. So the question is 100, 1,723.62. So on my abacus, I'm going to use my place value. I am going to start over here. We have 1,723.62. That's it. Easy, cool, simple. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the... I like to freestyle math as much as I can because I enjoy people talking, right? So if you could in the chat, please put in MDW. It's not easy or simple or cool. Sad panda. This is all easier than I thought, right? Right? Sorry, MCAT. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Ethan. I'm trying to see if I could get this thing. It's part of like the live creator something. I was like, I don't know. Thank you, Ethan. Okay, so if MCAT doesn't think it's easy, that's okay because we're going to continue on. When we're looking, we have our thousands, right? We have our ones, our thousands. We have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000s. So when we're looking, right, we want to make sure we have this dot indicator. These are the MCAT. You're silly. Oh my God. Yes, all the top bead is the value of 5. Yes, thank you. Is it silly? Is it still difficult? All right. So, let's take a look at this. We have this dot. This is our ones indicator. If I did the ones indicator, right? We want to be able to choose a Pokemon just like
Pokemon, I choose you.
I can choose Pokemons, right? You want to choose one dot. You can only choose one to battle. So if I choose this one...
Okay, Charizard, I choose you.
You could choose this one, but then you would have to shift your indicators. So because I chose this one, your ones, your tens, and then your hundreds. There'll be no hundreds, right? There's no column for hundreds. So that's why I'm always here, because now I can have up to 10,000. Does that make sense? So when I'm looking, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the ones is. This is where the ones is. And so when I do 4, then we could do 14, 24, 34, 44. And then after 44, right, we could do 54. 54, the top bead will always be 5. And then when we add the 5, right, now we have 59. 59, everything in the 5 is in the tens, right? And the 9 is in the ones. We could do 100, we have 100. 159. 259. And then we can just keep counting, right? We have 300, 400, and then 500. Yes, all the top bead is a value of 5. So sometimes let's do a little bit of association. Sometimes I use money to do a relationship. So if I have 1, that would be what 1 looks like. If I have 2, right? I don't know where you are in the world, but this is considered 2 cents, right? Each penny is 1 cent. So I have 2 on my abacus. I have 2 pennies. If I have 3, then I have 3 pennies, 3 cents, or I have 3 beads on the abacus. When I have 4, I have 4 on the abacus. I have 4 1 cents, and then I have 4 beads on the abacus. Well, what are we going to do about the 5? The 5 will always be the top bead no matter what. This is what 5 is. 5 is always going to be the top bead. That's the value of 5. Right? So then we have 6. If I add 1, I'm going to do 6. That's what 6 looks like. So this is 5, this is 6. And then we have 7. We have 5, 6, 7. We have 8. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool? Ethan, how was the airplane ride? I'm so happy you're here. All right. So, okay. How's it working? How's it going? How's it grooving? So now when I go back to the original question, right? How do you add with the abacus? Well, before we do that, we have to read it, right? You just said it was difficult. You just said it was difficult. Now you're saying that you just want to start adding, and all of a sudden we just add. Of course. Let's figure out how to read the abacus, and we go into adding and subtracting. We can actually even do multiplication on the abacus, but the first thing I want to do is understand. I already understand it. Now you understand. What about everybody else? No, let's take it one step further, right? We're gonna continue on. I have a whole thing. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna review a little bit, right? So MCAS showed us we have 1,723, and then point happens between the ones and the tens. So when we have the ones and the tens, we have 62, or a 6 and a 2. Yeah? How do we do that? Are we all right? So when we're looking, we have the thousands. Here's the 10,000. So we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000. Make sense? I'm just starting my stay. I remember everything you taught me last time. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Oh, good. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for coming by and saying hi. MCAT is already trying to push the class. Nate, are we okay? Do we understand? So when we break it down, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know if I'm talking too fast. I know I talk too fast. We have 4. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have 10. Ones, tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All the top bead is a value of 5. And then all the bottom bead is a value of 1. So when we're looking, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be as if I had 4 pennies. And then, see, there's like all these people coming in. I can't be pushing everybody to be adding and subtracting if they don't know how to read the abacus, right? So if we could put a pin in that, we're going to go through. We just got to make sure we catch a majority of the people. I'm going to put a pin in that. All right? Is that all right, MCAT? Okay. So, Sharon, how's it going? Is that all right? Does that make sense? So we have 4. When we have 4, we have 5. 5 will always be the 5. 5 will always be the top bead, no matter what. 5 will always be the top bead. So then we have 6. That's what 6 looks like. And we have 7. We have 7. We have 8. How do I know this 8? Because we have 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what 8 looks like on the abacus. And then we have 9. That's it. We're done. That's 9. So when we look, we're actually doing some adding, simple adding here. How do I know? Because we have 5 and 4. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. When we look at it, right, what we want to do is we want to be happy when we do abacus. Wait! So the blue beads on the bottom, like this, is 5. And then the other one is either 4. But yes, if you add all of it, like this, Nate, it is 9. Yes. So if I did this, this is 4. If I did this, this is 9. If I did this, this is 5. You're absolutely right. Fantastic. Well done. So when we're looking, right, we have 1. When I add the 5, we have 6. If I have 2 and I add the 5, we have 7. When I have 3, I add the 5, we have 8. If I have 4 and I add the 5, we have 9. Right? That's why I'm like, why is MCAT saying that it's not simple? is it is it just up to you where you place the dot? It's the maximum you can in Abacus under 10 mil. You know what? That's really keen, and as long as you choose a specific dot, it doesn't matter. So this one specifically is a 7-column one, and I only have 2 dots. However, this one is 13 columns, and size matters. So you have more choices to pick anywhere you want on the abacus, if that makes sense, MCAT. Tell me the values once more past the decimals and the cents. It's just exactly the same that we write. So we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000s, right? So when we're looking, going back to the dot, it's a label, this label. If I choose any one, I could be in the middle, but if I choose this one all the way over here, then if you notice, everything is being grouped. So we have our ones, our thousands, our millions, our billions, and then our trillions. So it does matter where you go, but it doesn't matter which one you pick. You just got to choose one, right? Just like a Pokemon. You just got to choose one. Great, Cody. That hurts my brain. What hurts your brain? Choosing one? We got to choose one. Can't do them all, right? Just like a Pokemon.
Okay, Charizard, I choose you!
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is understand when we're moving the beads, right? We want to just use the... We're choosing 2. The 13 columns is so big. Okay, so am I a math teacher? I am now. I'm teaching math in the middle of the night. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at the beads. When you see the beads, there's this edge. This edge over here helps me move the beads. So even though if you have big burly hands or if you have Bigfoot hands, Bigfoot has big hands. So would it be called Bigfoot or big hands? They'd be called big hands. Anyways, so we have big foot, we have big hands. You want to just use the edges. So if I want to move 2, I'm just going to be doing this, move the 2. If I want to move 4, I'm just going to do this, move the 4. They're very easy to understand. They're very easy to move. They're very easy to it's like a little rattle. Right? So when we're doing this, we want to make sure we use our left hand to stabilize. We want to use our left hand to stabilize the abacus, and we use the right hand to calculate. Is this basically a calculator? No. Funny, your brain is the calculator. This basically keeps track of your numbers. That's it. It just keeps track of your numbers. It's the fascinating thing. It's so elegant, but that's what it does. And we'll go through it. We'll go through how we're going to add the numbers. But the first thing we understand is when we are using the abacus, we want to make sure that we want to stabilize it. Then the next thing we want to do is understand if I have all the beads at the bottom, right? And all of a sudden I do this, notice that my answers become wrong. So don't flick too hard.
And flick. Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
Don't flick too hard, because then your answers will become wrong. So what we're doing is we're trying to understand what it is. So when we move the beads, we're being intentional. So when we're doing this 3 and we add the 5, now we have 8. What would be some uses for an abacus then? To teach you how to count. Every time I understand, you're mentioning the same thing. Hi, Dan. Yes, because there's a lot of people that ask the same questions. But depending on how big or how small the group is, how small the class is, we can go all the way to multiplication. Sometimes I go to division, but I always talk about the same thing because it's the same thing, just like this one. So it's basically a calculator. Or the other one is, what is some of the uses for an abacus? Unless you could tell the whole world what the abacus is, gotta keep saying the same thing. Sorry, unless you have a specific question, we can go through it. Like MCAT gave me this one to put on the abacus, and I showed MCAT what it looked like on the abacus. Now, digital, what would be some of the uses to use an abacus? It'd be exactly the same as what are some of the uses when you do any adding and subtracting, right? So you could do adding the grocery bill. You could do balancing your checkbook if you still have a checkbook. Balancing your statement if you wanted to balance your statement, if you have money in the bank, right? If you wanted to teach children how to count, that's basically what it's used for, right? So usually kids start with Abacus, right? Just like we do with number blocks, right? So that's the other question, is when do we use these blocks? These blocks is when we use to talk about numbers and how to count. So that's what 9 looks like. So the max on this specific abacus, 99,999 point, we have to get the decimal. Don't forget the decimal, right? 0.99, if that makes sense. 0.99. If I used a bigger abacus, Nate, obviously if I used a bigger abacus, a 13 column abacus, then it would be 99,999,999,999,999,999. Yeah. So going back to the question, when do you use it? It's just exactly when do we use these? Do you use it in every day? No, you don't. But the question is what? Can you show me an example of using this? And I'm like kind of curious. Oh yeah, I just did, right? So if I add 5 and I want to add the 4, all I got to do is do that. So what we're doing is when we add, we want to move the beads up to the horizontal bar. You have to use the decimal, or can you make it bigger? I'm sorry. Do you have to use the decimal, or can you make it a bigger number? I would recommend using the indicator as the ones as always, because then you don't lose your place. Because sometimes the numbers, or whenever you start adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing, because you go through a lot of the back and forth of the columns, it's best to know where you have where you start your ones place. So again, we're going to now, we know how to add, we know how to subtract. No, we know how to move the abacus. What we're going to do is we're going to continue moving the abacus. So we understand how to make a 10. When we make a 10, we do this. We have 1 and we have 0. So the other one is we're going to do 11. So we have 11, 1 and 1. Now we have questions on how to move the beads. Okay, all right, let's do it. So here's a few examples of what my book looks like. This is my preschool book that I'm teaching to children from 3, 4, and 5. And 6, I wouldn't do them. But 6, I'd go to here. I would start them off understanding how to move the beads at 6. So we can multiply. Yes, I use the cubes and the columns, the block columns when I learned to count. Yes, that's what we did. Calculus is tomorrow. Yes. Yes. So in the mainstream world, we always talk about the result. But in Abacus world, what we need to do is we need to focus on the add-in. The add-in is always the thing that we need to know. So the question is can we do it? Is there enough beads? So my first number starts with a 5. My second number has a 1. Can we add a 1? Is there enough beads to add the 1 on this column? Yes, we can. So we're going to add the 1. When we add the 1, my final answer is 6. So here we have 7. So if I have 7 and I add the 1, can we do it? Yes, thank you, MCAT. Yes, we can add the 1, so my final answer is 8. So it's the same thing. When we do 2, we have 5, and we add the 2. The question is, can we add the 2? Yes, we're going to add the 2. We just add the 2. When we add, we want to go to the horizontal bar. When we subtract, we want to go away from the horizontal bar. Could you divide and multiply with the abacus? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can also do decimals too. So when I have 3, my question is I'm going to add the 3. Can I add the 3? Yes, I can add the 3. So my question starts with 5, and I want to add the 3. That's fine. So my final answer is 8. You could do it the mainstream way, which is what? You add the dots, right? You know, you add the dots, like 5 dots, and then 3 dots, and then you have to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. No. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's right. Nico, thank you, math. Yes, thank you. So when we're talking about it, we want to make sure we're understanding to move the beads. So when we have 5 and we want to add the 3, we know that this is 8. Because why?
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I'm used to doing that way. Yeah. Well, could... When we do minus, we have 7. We want to take away the 1. When we take away the 1, we're moving it away from the horizontal bar. All right, iDigital. All right. If I do this number, you can't be scared. I'm telling you now. If I do this I'm telling you right now, nobody tells me that this is difficult, because now we're just jumping through something, or we put a pin in it and I tell you the basics on how to do it. And then we can do it again. What do you think? What do you want to do? Carry the 1. I wish all schools had the abacus, so it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Hey, Carter. All right, all right, all right. If I start doing it, I'll go slow. But the minute somebody says this is difficult, I'm going to not like you. All right, so we're going to start. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the first thing, Carter, I'm good at math. I never use an abacus. I'm really just curious. Wait, what are we doing? We are adding. So what we're doing is we're going to add the 3. The question is can I add the 3?
Yes, we can.
We can add the 3. So we add the 3. We have 1, 2, 3. Where did I get the 3 from? I got the 3 from here. When we're looking at it, we always go from the left to right. We go left to right. So now we want to add the 4. One of the things about adding the 4, we don't have enough. There is a concept that we're teaching the kids. We're teaching the kids how to add the 4 and how to make a 5. So when we're adding the 5, when we're making a 5, we need to understand this concept. Here is my 2, right? Here is 2. I have 2 pennies. This is where my 2 is. I'm over here. I is over here, right? I have 2. I have 2 pennies. I have 2. But the problem is I only have a nickel, right? What does that mean? Well, I only have a 5 to add. If I only have a 5 to add and I need to add the 4, what do? Well, what do? I can give you my nickel, right? But that's too much. So what do? I have to take away the 1. Yes, thank you, MCAT. Take away the 1. So I add the 5 and I take away the 1. Yes. So now here's the next question. Can I add the 5? Can I add the 5?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can add the 5. We just add the 5. There we go. So now here's another question, right? We need to add the 6. You know how to add the 6. What do? When we add the 6, what are we going to do? We're going to do this thing, right? Yes, we're going to do the carrying over. Yes. So what happens is there's this formula. So I'm going to reset. I have 4 on the abacus. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 on the abacus. But before I go on, what do? I don't have any more beads. I don't have any more to add the 6. Right? There's not enough beads to add the 6. What do? I can carry over the 1. I'm going to give you 10 cents, but 10 cents is too much. You only need 6. So what happens? What happens is there needs to be an exchange. So when we do an exchange, we add the 10. We add the 10, but that's too much. We take away the 4. So my final answer is, what's my final answer? Tell me in the comments what my final answer is. 4, 6, 9, 0. Thank you. Yep, that's what we did. So what did we just do? We just jumped through a whole bunch of adding and subtracting. But what we did is we combined the 5, which we already know, and we combined the 10, which is the carrying over. You cannot skip the process. No, you can't skip the process, because I do lose a few more people. For those people that can't keep up, yeah, I understand half of it, which is fine. Thank you for the demonstration. Yeah, you're welcome. But I blame you for 38 people in my room. All right, let's take it slower. Okay, let's do it. Let's take it one more bit. Let's take it slower. Because iDigital wanted to see this, now I have 35 people in my room. Thank you, iDigital. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is understand we're going to add the 4, right? Because what happens? What happens is that there's not enough beads. Now, there's a very simple formula. This is a very simple concept, but this concept also translates. So the first thing we're going to understand is when I add the 3. If I add the 3, right, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. When I have 3. But now I have 4. Because I have 4, I don't have any more beads. Notice I cannot have the 4. This is not adding 4. This just makes it 43, right? So what I need to do is I need to add the 4 here. Because I needed to add the 4, I have a nickel. I have 5 cents. Okay, let me continue on with this. So I have 5 cents, but notice 5 cents is too much, right? I only need 4, so I need an exchange, so I'm going to take away the 1. So my final answer is 7. That's what the first one is. The second part was the plus the tens. So, plus the tens, what did we do? Plus 4? We did plus 4, plus 6. We did 6. So, on the abacus, here is a question. On the abacus, what we need to do is we need to understand how to make a 10. To make a 10, the partner will always be 4, no matter what. The partner of 6 will always be 4. This is how we make a 10. We're teaching the kids in school how to make a 10. We're actually utilizing this in Abacus, right? In the Abacus world, we're utilizing this. To utilize it, what we need to do is we need to isolate the variable. We're going to isolate this. We need to isolate this variable. This is plus the 6. Why are we adding the 6? Because what we're doing here, again, if you remember what I said before, we focus on the add-in. When we focus on the add-in, this is the 6 we're talking about. But notice I don't have enough beads to add the 6. So when I have the 4, on my abacus, I want to add the 6, but I don't have enough beads. What do? Then I can utilize the 10. But the problem is I don't have any change. So if I have 4 pennies on my abacus, right? I have 4 beads on my abacus. I have enough money for 10. But I need an exchange, right? So if I need an exchange, I give you my 10 cents, and I take away the 4. So my final answer is 10. So what does it look like here? Here, that's what I did. So I added the 10, right? But here, I already had 8. I already had the 8. So if I had 4, what am I going to do? I'm going to, when I have the 6, I have plus the 10 minus the 4. This is the formula we need to memorize. So I'm going to plus the 10, and I take away the 4. That's what I did. Are there abacuses that have more than one bead on top? Yes, there is. It is called a Chinese abacus. So here's a Chinese abacus. Choose. Did that make sense? I'm gonna have to call you Choose because I don't know how to say your name. Is it Choose? Chevs. I don't know how to say that. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. So MCAT, we have it's the same thing. So when we're looking, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, because of this, we're going to exchange it. This gets exchanged to this. So now we have 5. That's 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Because we have 10, because we have 5, we're going to exchange it. When we exchange it, we do this. When we have this, we have to exchange it again. So we're going to do that. Whoa, we have 10. So now it's 1 and a 0. You can call me Chief. Oh, Chive. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. My Chive. My Chive? No, call me Chive. Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I get a little bit mixed up with that. Okay, so it just tells you how to add in the next digit. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it works exactly the same as this one, which is called the Japanese abacus. This is a Japanese abacus. It's called a Soroban. That's one word, not two. There we go. Try. Hey, Pedro, I like it, but at the same time, I don't. Because the abacus stands for something. Abacus, thank you, MCAT. Yes, it's Soroban. MCAT is another word for pebbles, I believe, if you translate it. I think it's an Arabic word because it came from Mesopotamia. And this is what happens like after the bartering system, and then they started using money, and people needed to exchange money and so forth, and so they started using a thing called an abacus. They made it a 10 bead column, which we did, which you kind of see it in play school and preschools, but they don't use it for like an actual abacus. They just play it because it's a toy. Uh, but in everywhere else, we use it as an actual tool. So it's a tool. Silk Road vibes. I'm not sure what I know. I don't know what that is. So the beads, the pebbles. Yes, exactly. The beads and the pebbles are the same. So this would be a bead. This would be a pebble. Yes, exactly, Nate. So when I'm thinking that's what would happen, they would be sticks. There'd be sticks. I don't know how they do it. I think they first started off with moving, one place to another, right? So they went from this place, and then they went from this place to here. You know what I mean? So they had like, I don't know, bowls or whatever, and they started doing. I don't know how they did it, but they called abacus is called, like, I think they called it like moving beads or something. So thank you so much for the questions, Carter. Too difficult. Yes, it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue on understanding how to add the 5. Are we going to do that? Because we can also take away the 5. Now understand, these are all my books. So if you're interested in any of these books, I've created all these abacus books, and these abacus books are very specific to abacus. And I wanted to make sure that the kids understand how to read and use the abacus. The first thing we're going to understand is how do we use the 4. So if you notice, there's sets of pairs. We could do the same thing with the 3. So because 3 and a 2 is the 5. And now we want to do 3. If I do 3, again, I don't want to memorize our doubles. What I want to do is I want to memorize our formula. So if I have 3, 1, 2, 3, and I want to give you 5 nickels, right? But that's too much because I only need 3. I need to take away the 2. So if I add the 5 nickel, I need to take away the 2. So my final answer is 6. It is too late to understand anymore. I'm sleeping. Have a good night. See you later, Chive. I came late, so how do we use this? Oh, hey, Z. Welcome. Welcome to Midnight Math. And so what we're going to do is let's do a little review. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Every bottom bead is a value of 1. So when we see 4, this is what 4 looks like. Oh, you can't see that. That's what 4 looks like, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are not touching the horizontal bar, so that's not being counted. What needs to be counted is when they touch the horizontal bar. So now we have 4.4. What? How do you know it's a point? No, never mind. So this is 4 and 4. If I do this, this is 4, 4, 4, and I do this. These are all 4s, right? So then what happens to 4 is 5. We know what 5 looks like. Do we? Do we know? 5 looks like this. What does that mean? 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So I'm wondering why didn't they write it down? Why didn't they just write it down? No pencils? No, I don't think they had pencils back in the day. They had paint, but then they had papyrus. But I don't think everybody. You know what? Then the other thing is not everybody was literate, right? Merchants, not very rare are the merchants. Are not everybody was literate, not like now. So that's a good question. I don't think they did pencils back in the day. I know Abraham Lincoln had a pencil, but I don't know when pencils came around. Okay, so that's 5, and then when I add the 1, and I do 6, so it's 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 5. And then if I do 7, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 5, 5. I could do 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6. Or 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. And then we do 8, right? 8 looks like that. We do 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. And then 9. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. There we go. So that's how we count on the abacus. Well, what do we do about 10? Well, now we can start talking about our place values. If you notice, we have a dot indicator. It's right here. This dot indicator tells me that this is my ones place. So I can do my ones, tens, hundred, thousands, 10,000. And so that's what I was doing. I was showing you how to count on the abacus. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we can do 10. 10 is a 1 and a 0. 1, 0. 1, 0. 1, 0. exactly. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you what 1, 0 looks like. 1 and a 0. So after 10, we have 11. After 11 is 12. After 12 is 13. Right? Makes sense? And then we have 15. Crash course. I know, right? But I have to keep saying the same thing. Because who is it? Den was complaining that Den is always at the same place. Because I'm always repeating myself. But then I have MCAS saying that it's all difficult. It's not, right? It's not. I told you. I told you. So, are we done? How are we doing? Let's see. Who was it that asked? Was it... Sorry. Nope. Wormy Math. Nope. Where is it? Pedro. Nope. Nate. No. Oh, Z. Yeah, Z. Are we still there? Z. How's it going? Ooh, yeah. Thank you for teaching me about Abacus. Yeah, have a good night, Nate. Have a good night. I'm getting the hang of it. See, Pedro. Oh, do me a favor. Everybody in the comment, please put in MDW for Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if I'm supposed to do it now or later. I don't know. All right. So, great. Makes sense? So when we're doing it, thank you, MCAB. Thank you so much. Okay, so what are we doing? So now we understand our place values, and then that's what we're doing here. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, MCAT. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Z. Okay, now what we're doing is we're understanding, right? We know how to move the beads, right? If you notice, the beads have an edge. Because there's an edge, we want to be happy. We want to be happy. Hello, Joey. Thank you so much. We want to be happy when we do math. We want to be happy when we do abacus. So when we're doing it, right? When we do the abacus, when we do the math, we want to be able to just to touch the edges of the beads. Because no matter how big and burly your hands are, you can just move the beads. Make sense? So when we're doing it, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Right? 5. And then we do 6. I don't know if you've seen my post. That's like, there's like this post with my husband's chubby little hands, pudgy little hands, and he's able to move the abacus. This is a standard size abacus. The Chinese abacus doesn't have those. That's correct. It's more rounded. But you'll also notice that it's a lot bigger, right? So, like if I put it against my head, right? It's kind of big. So it's harder to carry in your pocket. It's harder to carry in your pocket, yeah. So, and we want to use our left hand to hold the abacus because it's very easy. And if we were to have our numbers, let's say this is our number and I do this, you flick too hard. Don't flick too hard.
And flick. Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
Don't flick too hard because then you're going to have the wrong answers. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to understand that when we move the beads, we go to the horizontal bar. When we subtract, right, when we add, we go to the horizontal bar. This is the horizontal bar. If I want to add the 5, I'm adding to the horizontal bar. If I'm subtracting, I go away from the horizontal bar. So I add the 1, take away the 1. Add the 1, take away the 1. You'll start to notice that there's a number pattern to it, too. And it's really quite interesting. So here when I have 3, right, I have 3. I want to add another 3. To add another 3, remember, I need to add the 5 and then take away the 2. It's now the opposite. If you want to minus the 3, so I have 6 and I want to minus the 3, I take away the 5 and add the 2. So when we know how to add, you will know how to subtract. Thank you, MCA. Thank you so much. Yes, so the top bead, this is the top bead, this is the blue bead. The top bead is a value of 5. The bottom bead is the value of 1. So when we're putting it together, right, this is all 4s. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all touching it. I was scrolling, it wasn't going to stop, but you explained this so well. I understand immediately. Hello, Mooney. Thank you so much for dropping by. All right, so can I please explain it again? Can I please explain how to read the abacus again? It's not me. Thank you. Thank you, MCAT. Thank you. I appreciate that, MCAT. Now you see, it's easy. MCAT was telling me that it was like so hard. This is too hard, but it's a little cool. I'm not, okay. Let me know if it. Don't be mad. I'm not here to judge. I'm an expert now. Right? How do you use it? I'm so confused. PS. I don't know. All right. So we'll take it. PhD in the beads. Yes. All right. We have 1. We're gonna do 1. Right? Oh, that's a good one. PhD in beads. That's a good one. That's a good one. So if I have 2, 2 looks like this. 3, that's what 3 looks like. 4, that's what 4 looks like. P.S. Are you still here? If you're not, I'm going to go on to adding and subtracting. I need to make sure you're still here. All right. I don't know if P.S. is still here. Going once. Going twice. I'm not sure. Okay. I don't think PS is here. I think they left. All right. So what are we going to do? So that makes sense, right? How we added the 4 and then we added the 3. There you go. Can you use any row or does it sing that? This is generally so cool. Thank you. Yeah, right? So late. You guys are here to learn math. That's crazy. It's like in the middle of the night, like midnight math. Yes. Yes, PS. It does matter what row you choose. There's an indicator. If you notice, there's these labels. These labels are here to help you label the ones place. So if you want to choose a dot,
Pokemon, I choose you!
this would be my ones place. So what I do is I go over here and I add my ones. My ones, my tens. This is my label. My ones and my tens. So and I could do 10, 20, 30, 40. And then 41, 42, 43. However, I have no more beads to do hundreds. If I choose...
Okay, Charizard, I choose you!
If I choose this one over here, then this will be my ones. Then I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, and then I have more room to do my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000. That's why I am over here. Hello, E. I was watching this one movie with Anne Hathaway and I wanted to finish it. It was called Colossal and it was a little dark and I was like, all right. I mean, it's an okay movie. It's interesting, but I don't know. All right. So, thank you, E. Hello, got it. Okay, good. Thank you. Not a problem. So, but that's a good question. Okay, what we're doing, we have the 2, so it makes sense. So after we understand how to make a 2, now the reason why we add the 4, right, and we want to add the 2. If I have 4 and I have 2, I don't have any more beads to add the 2, but I have a nickel. Because I have this 5 cents, I can give it to you, but that's too much. I'm going to give you my cents, but that's too much. If I have 2, right, how much do I need to take away? I need to get change back. I need to get 3 cents back. So I'm going to get 3 cents back. So my final answer is 6. Wait! The first dot is 2 digits. Yes. Yes. You're so... Yes. Yes. Because if you look, right, if we did... Where's the... Right? Let's say we change this to this. Right? Yes.
Welcome to the real world.
1,723.62 cents. Right? How does that, MCAT? You all right?
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
See, I told you, PhD in beads, man. PhD in beads. Yeah, you're welcome, Apologia. I am here to bridge the gap between Abacus World and mainstream. Yes, yes, blue bead is equal to 5. So this is 5555555. So this would be, what did my number go? It went to be 55,555.55. That's what that is. So when we're doing this, right, that's what it looks like. You're freaking cool for... Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I feel a little... I don't know. I feel a little dorky. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't teach us this in Abacus. It's usually so much... Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. The interesting thing is, like, it's really quite easy. So... we did a little bit of this, right? We did a little bit of this. Let me show you the way. So here's another question, right? Here's another question. And this question is 13,578. And so what's going to happen is when I add the 2, can I add the 2?
Yes, we
Right here, I can add the 2, so I'm going to add the 2. Now here, in this column, right, the 3, this is where my 3 is, I need to add a 4. To add the 4, let me show you. If I have the 3 beads, right, I want to add the 4, but guess what? I don't have any more beads to add the 4. This is where my fundamental concept, how to add a 5, makes, it becomes part of the situation. If I give you my nickel, if I give you this 5 cents, right? If I give you the 5 cents, that's too much. I only have change for 4, right? You need to give me 1. So you need to take away the 1. So this becomes 7. And then here's another one. Can I add the 3? Yes, we can add the 3. Then we can add the 1, and we can add the 1. So my final answer is 37,889. What? Oh, hold please. I'm missing. Visually, yes. Good, Giselle. Welcome, Giselle. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm missing a few. Operations. What kind of math can you do with this? Arithmetic. Adding, subtracting, multiplication, and division. Operations are a little bit harder. Yes. Formulas are a little bit hard because this is something unfamiliar. It will happen. You do it a little bit more often. It'll be easy. I've been teaching Abacus for 20 years. So don't compare you to me. When I first learned this, it took me a while to figure it out. This is my first time seeing an abacus. Hey, yeah, this is how the Asian kids learn. Yeah. So you see them doing the gang signs. They're doing this in their head. I have 3 boys. They know how to do the abacus. Do they know how to do it in their head? No, because I never pushed them. I'm not a tiger mom like I'm supposed to be. I just want them to know that math is fun and math is cool. And as long as they get it, then everything's good. So, let's see. I feel like a minute before fully understanding, practice makes permanent. Yeah, and you know the practice is easy. Why? Because the concepts are very similar. So if you notice, when I'm adding a 5, right? You'll notice when I add the 5, I'm adding the 5 plus the 1. You could do it again. Plus the 5 minus the 2. Do it again. Minus the plus the 5 minus the 3. Do it again. Plus the 5 minus the 1. Right? And then it does it again. What? Over here. Minus. So when I'm taking away the number, you minus the 5. So instead of saying it, right, I'm going to show you. So if I have 8 and I need to take away the 4, I'm going to minus the 5 plus the 1. You're going to see the number pattern. This is the number pattern. You add the you add the 4, you take away the 4. You add the 3, right? You take away the 3. You add the 3, take away the 3. Here, you add the 2. You take away the 2. This is the number pattern that you're going to see often if you do it enough times, right? If you do it enough times, you'll see it in your head. So the finger thing that they're using, yes, usually that they're doing this, they're a little bit more dramatic. Usually we're just doing this. But it's also It's also muscle memory too, right? So some of the kids like to use their fingers. So, okay. But yeah, that's the thing. So basically, remember, yes, but see, the thing is it's not another strategy. So when you add, you know how to subtract. You know how to wax on, you know how to wax off. You know how to put the jacket on, you know how to take the jacket off, right? Not in math. Mainstream math, and that's the other thing I didn't like the most. Mainstream math, you have one strategies to add, and then you have another set of strategies to subtract. Why? They should be balanced. Right? So in Abacus, we balance mainstream. Right? So here's one of the strategies was doubles. Doubles only is adding. Hello, Veer. Hello, Veer. Welcome. So doubles, I'm sorry, my thought was memorizing doubles, you memorize your doubles, but it's only addition. If you think about it, there is no doubles subtraction. What does subtraction doubles mean? Subtraction doubles means everything will be a 0. It doesn't make any sense. Do you have a course for 7-year-olds? I do. And so what we do is we start into, we understand how to read the beads, and after we learn how to read the beads, we talk about how to move the beads. I have an online class. I have an online course. I have videos that talks about all the abacus. This one specifically is for preschools, but if you're interested in just the books, I do have books available. If you want to teach your child yourself, you could do that too. And I have books available for a 7-year-old. 7. You can start off with how advanced is your how advanced do you think how advanced is your child? Do they already know their double digits? Because what we can do here is we can learn we can do is we can go through understanding our double digits. I'm very well, Veer. Understanding your double digits, but this is all about recognizing the digits. This is all about recognizing, right? And so this is what it would be. And then after this, I would go into adding and subtract, adding the 5. And then after you add the 5, thank you for the Abacus, definitely giving you a follow. Thank you, Mooney. So she would need to learn how to, yes, she needs to learn how to move the abacus, yes, but it won't be difficult for a 7-year-old. This one specifically was for kids that are 3 and they didn't know what numbers were. You know what I mean? Doubles and adding digits. So, oh, you know what? Then that's good. That's good. Okay, you are the best teacher. Ah, thanks. I'm in, oh, you're in India. Ooh. Hey, what time is it in India? That's pretty far. Um, okay, so with the double digits, I would recommend having her start off with the maze. This is just to get her to used to like understanding what the beads look like, and then from here, then we can go into. I'm sorry. Let me give you a full rundown of what this book is. So what it is it teaches you. Teaches you how to use the abacus. So it's up to you if you want to go through my course or go through the book, if that makes sense. Or if you're looking for private tutoring, and obviously that's a little bit more, right? So the instructions are here, and then what we do is we learn how to read the abacus. So I show you how to do the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, right? And then I talk about the place values. So this is my 10s and this is my 8. So when I look on my abacus, this is my 10s, this is my 1s, and so this is 2 and this is 8. And so what I do is we would have a maze. And so this was just to get them entertained how to read the abacus, and you follow the path. You follow the maze. And so what we do is we just if you have your answer, so you find your answer, and then through your answer you follow the path. And then you find the answer here and you follow the path. You find the answer here, you follow the path. The next one is the reverse maze. Reverse maze is I give you the path, right? But then what you need to do is you need to color in the abacus. So when you know what the 54 is, color in the beads, 50 and 4. And then this is 96. So you go one step forward to go one step back just to fill it in. So that's what this is. The next one, you guys are so funny. Mark! On the wooden box again. Yes. Okay. So the next one is talking about. I introduced the number line because mainstream math talks about it. But in Abacus world, we don't necessarily need to know the number line. But here is where we start doing and understanding the formulas. So when we understand, we're teaching the children in mainstream math, 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. But here, what we do is we have it as a formula. So this is the formula. Plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus the 1. Oh, sorry. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. It's in the middle of the night for me. Okay. Oh, I wonder. Okay, I'll do that. Where are you from? I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in California. I'm in United States of America. That's where I am. Okay, so going back to here. When we're looking at it, and then I don't know if you caught this, but what we do is in the Abacus world is we focus on the add-in. When we focus on the add-in, right, what we're doing is we're understanding what we're doing with the number. We're not focusing on the result. We need to know the add-in. So when we're doing it, right, we know what we're trying to do when we add the 3 when we're trying to add another 3, right? We could do it again with the 2. And then we do it again with the 1. But notice we focus on the added. We don't focus on the result. Can you teach me pre-calculus? I'm struggling, and I can't, but I know somebody. And if you're looking for somebody, send me a DM. Send me a DM, and I can send you Audrey, because I think she does pre-calc. So she can do online class with those workbooks. Yes, yes, she can do. Yes. So I have a video. For every worksheet, just so we can do a review. The online class is $20 a month. You have all of the worksheets. All you got to do is make sure you have a printer, and then from there you can go through, and it's self-paced, and so it's just a lot of self-pacing, but there's a structure to it. I am asking some questions for you. Tell me what some of the questions are, Veer, and I will answer your questions. That didn't work. Oh, there you are. I'm asking some questions. There you are. Yep, I see you. Okay. So P.S. Does that make sense? So I do have that. And it is affordable. Not affordable. It is at your own pace. And usually, I'm sorry. I'm focusing on something else. Save changes. You are the. Okay, going back. I just fumbled my thought. The online is $20 a month. You, as long as you have, you. One thing is you have to purchase an abacus, right? You can either purchase it from me or find it from somewhere else. You can. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of abacus you purchase. You could be this one or it can be this one. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. What's the difference? It's just the size and the color. If the color is overwhelming, if this is overwhelming, then what I would do is I would do the brown one, the single colored one. This is more regular. Having the colors, and there's more of it, I think would be overwhelming. So when we're looking at it, you are telling me you teaching experience. You are telling me your teaching experience. Does that make sense, P.S.? So when we're looking, sometimes the colors may be overwhelming. And it depends. Like some people find it, overwhelming. Sometimes this is fine, and then it's because this might be overwhelming. It's to each their own. You won't know until the time comes. So it is up to you. Chinmaya, stop swearing. And then Veer, you keep repeating yourself. I'm not sure if you guys are bots. So, alright, what are we doing? Oh, so after the plus the 5, we do minus the 5. After minus the 5, right, there's activities and there is information. So with the information, we have the subtraction, and after the subtraction, we have the minus 2. After we have the minus 2 is the minus 1. And then there is activities to go with to go with it. So what we're doing is you answer the question, and these are very specific to how to minus the 5. And then what we're doing is we are looking at the answer, and then we we find the question. Hello, Shane. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry. Please don't be rude. So, so then after the 5s, right? After making the 5s, then the next one would be to plus the 10s. After we add the 10s, right? That's when we start doing the carrying over. When we carry over, right? That's what we do with the next ones over here, right? Okay. So how are we doing? Mainly, really? I try to be a little more scheduled. I'm trying to go early. I'm trying to go morning, like 8 or 9, and then I try to go. Today was a little bit because today's Friday, and so I was like, I don't know. And then I was watching this one movie called Colossal with Anne Hathaway. It was interesting, but that's what kind of got me into it. I was like, oh, this is an interesting movie, and I wanted to finish it before I came online. So I apologize for the late midnight math. Okay, so the questions, any other questions about what's going on? And if you're wondering, I don't know if I have a service link. I'm supposed to have a service link, but then I don't know I'm just going to be like, what's going on? What's going on? So I'm trying to figure out this. I subscribe to your YouTube. Is that where the class is, or is that school? No, I have it on my specific website. So, oh, interesting. Oh, see, it says subscribe. I actually have my, I actually have a specific platform. It's on my website. And so there is no commercials, I guess you would say. So, but no, I'm not on school. Yeah, it's on my own website. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, division. You really want to do division? So, I don't know. I have these people in YouTube right now commenting, and they're very, I don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of just there. Hi. All right. So, okay. We're going to do some division. Are we ready, Shane? Are you ready for Shane? I'm not sure you are. What's it? No. I am not sure that you are if you are swearing in my on my live. Please do not swear. This is not nice. Okay. How are we doing? Division, not, hopefully, just not by tens. Alright. You know, I was able to find a couple of division questions I think would be beginner friendly. That's the biggest thing, right? Trying to find stuff that's beginner friendly, because I don't want to like word off like okay, so thy strive, thon strive. Okay, yes. Thank you, Tanya. Okay, so division. The first thing we're going to do is understand our terminologies. I have to have my labels. So the first thing we understand, we have our dividend. There we go. Dividend, and we have our divisor, right? We have our dividend, and our divisor. Because we have our dividend divisor, we're kind of jumping ahead. Usually I go into multiplication first, but we're going to go into division. So here is the first thing we're going to understand is we need to figure out where our starting point is. Because our starting point is very specific. We're going to use the abacus for it. Is there a way to ban people? Hold please, I'm sorry. Delete comment. Oh, I can put you in timeout. I can put them in timeout. Alright, sorry. I'm just, okay. You said start with the plus fives or the five. I would recommend, I would recommend the maze. I would recommend the maze, if that's okay. But if not, then yeah, you could do plus five. You could do plus five. You know what? I take that back. You could start with plus five. Yes. You know why? Because I feel like I'm smarter than I am. So yes, you can start with the plus five, and then here we can, what we're doing, so this is the beginning parts of the plus five. And you notice we have the number lines, I talk about the question structure, and then we start talking about how to make a five, right? How to make five cats. And so when we're doing it, we have here. And then we have how to make a 5, and we're using cats in a tree, if that makes sense. And then from here we go through, and I have some word problems, and I have some, find the missing cats. Yeah. And then I add in the number bonds just to show what we're trying to, I'm just trying to show the relationship between the numbers, and then we have our missing cats. And then we start going into how to make a 5, how to make a 4. And then after that, we go into how to make a 3, and then so forth. And I hope that makes sense. And then after we do the 1, then they go into like the more activities. And with the activities, there's the mazes. So there's the +5 maze. And after that, there's the word problems and the hidden word. And there's color by number and follow the boxes. It's supposed to be like connect the dots, but I said boxes instead. And what we're doing is we're understanding how to add the 5. This whole thing is about adding the 5, right? And then after that would be the -5. I think I put it in the back where the next book. No, I didn't. I need to start updating my books to say the next book is the -5. Yeah, so that's what I would do. All right, but the mazes teaches her how to use the abacus. The mazes teaches her how to read the abacus. So it depending on how comfortable you are or how quickly she picks up, maybe she doesn't need this. Oh, sorry, not this. I'm sorry. Not this. Yeah, it just depends on how quickly. Some people like, I know adults like it because it's fun, right? So it's up to you if you want to. Do I recommend it? It is. It is up to you. It's just a different way of reading the numbers. So here we are. If I have this number, right? This is 7, and what I do is I have something to cover it so they can see, and then I would relate this number to my abacus. So when I have this number, right, that would be 7. 5, 6, 7. And then I follow the path and I go here. So in the chat, tell me, what number do we think this is? What number do we think this is? If I have my 10s and my 1s, if I have my 10s and then I have my 1s, what number do we think that is? My 10s and my 1s. What? MCA? No! My 10s and my 1s. 72. Yes, 72. Thank you, PS. And so I'm going to follow the path, and it'll take me to here. When I do this, right, you can color it in. That's why I made it like that. So you can color it in, and I have this. This is my 10s, and then this is my 1s. And it's just like and we just keep going, right? So if I have my 10s and my 1s, type the answers. So yes, the answer is 87. So that's what it is. And then you just follow the path until we are here. Right? Okay. And then I have it where I do a reverse. So I have my starting here, and I have 54, and then you just need to color it in. So that's what it'd be. You color in 54, you color in 54 beads, and then you do it again. You have 96. So it's up to you. P.S. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for as well. I mean, I was trying to make it fun. There's about this book. This book is about 100 pages, and the answers are in the back. The answers are in the back. So it is up to you. Depending on how quickly you feel like your child is, or how slow. But it is self-paced. It would be fun to learn to use it and then get to 5. Yeah, I don't want to rush. Some parents want to rush. I'm not here to rush, and so so I would start off with this one just to ease them into it. You know what I mean? I study in class 6. I don't know what class 6 is. Okay. So, and then obviously you have my lives, and then if you're on my email, she's already traumatized. I don't, yeah. If you're on my email list, I do have a separate, outside of TikTok, once a week, I get together with my students. And my students' parents, and we talk about some of the questions that you might have. So I have this one parent that comes in, not personally, but in the Zoom. So I was going to do a Zoom room, and it's outside of TikTok, and I get it, and I broadcast it out to. I broadcast it, but people can comment. But we'll have. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, if you are part of my class or my email list, you will have the opportunity to ask me once a week, or you try to catch me on TikTok. It's up to you. So I try to be available for questions, for anything about like Abacus and so forth. Yeah. And then if there's any typos, let me know, and then I can like fix it and stuff. But yeah, I think I was trying to go up. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So Veer, that's great. Maths and English is favorite. That is great. All right. Oh, division. So, okay, we're going to start with division. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand we have our divisor and our dividend. Divisor and our dividend. Okay, we're back to here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to count. P.S. Do you have any more questions before I continue on? Just to answer, make sure I answer all your questions. But yeah, my books do not have not all my books have the videos. But if you have my online, you'll have my videos. And if you're looking for extra work, I can also provide that as well. But I usually do that for my students. Okay, so no, go ahead. I'll order the maze first, and yeah, and you can don't forget to find an abacus. Don't forget to find an abacus because you could. It's always good to have the physical abacus in your hand as opposed to imagining it in your brain. It is harder to see in your head. And I was noticing that too, like when I have all these pictures, I'm like, oh, that's great, but it's still not the same when I have a 3D in front of me. So, okay, so we're back to here. 3 dividends. We have 3 digits in our dividends. We have 1 digit in our divisor. So we're going to subtract our number. Oh, or yours. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we have 3 digits and 1 digit. So what we're going to do, 3 take away 1 is equal to 2. So our starting point is 2. What does that mean? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to count our columns. We have 1, 2. We're going to start here. If we start, so our answer is going to be here. And I need to find my columns. Where's my... Oh dear. What am I doing? I'm trying to find my label. Okay, I can't find my label. Alright. So what's going to happen is I need to put my quotient, and my quotient is here. So on the 2, I apologize. My quotient is here. This is where my quotient, this is where my answers are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my dividend. My dividend is 112. 122. This is where I have my dividends. Don't worry about the number where the place value is. What we're using this dividend is to keep track of our quotient. So when we're looking at it, now we have to do a comparison. When we compare, we need to compare apples to apples. We're only going to compare 1 digit to 1 digit. Now I'm going to set up my chart. I have my divisor and my dividend. If my divisor is 4, my dividend is 1, which one is bigger? Which one is bigger, my divisor or my dividend? Let me know in the chat which one is bigger, my divisor or my dividend, as I try to find my label. I'm really upset. Okay. So, divisor or dividend, which one is bigger? 4 or 1? Oh my god, I can't believe I lost it. How did I lose it? Okay. Which one is bigger, 4 or 1? 4 or 1? Thank you, Miss Amazing. Yes, thank you. It is 4. Is it here? It is 4. So what's going to happen is, now what we're going to do is we're going to do some multiplication. To set it up, we're going to do 4. What times 4 is equal to 1? No. That doesn't make sense. Thank you, Shane. Yes, the divisor. That doesn't make sense, right? So what we need to do is we need to bring in the second digit. We need to bring in our next digit, which is 11. So now our question is full. Our question is complete. What times 4 is equal to 11 or less? 2. 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So I'm going to add 2. My quotient is here. And I take away 8. Do we remember how to take away the 8? Minus the 8 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 2. So we're going to minus the 10 plus the 2. How are we doing? Is that all right? Does that look good? Excuse me. Yeah? Does that make sense? What did we just do? Are we all right? So I have my 2 is my quotient. What do I do? Then I just have to take away the 8, right? So what we're doing is we're doing long division. Was that too much? Yes. Okay, good. All right, so what's the next one? Good. So what's the next number we're going to compare? Tell me the two numbers we're going to compare. What two numbers are we going to compare? This is our dividend. We still need our dividend, right? Because we have our dividend, right? We don't need to worry about this one. We have it updated. We updated our dividend. So we have to compare. What two numbers are we comparing? If I have my divisor and my dividend, which two numbers are we comparing? Two and two. Almost. 3. 3. We're only comparing this one number, 3. So 3 is my dividend. 4 is my divisor. Which one is bigger? 4 or 3? Which one is bigger? 4 or 3? Thank you. Yes, it is 4. We don't say 32, Shane, because we only want to compare apples to apples. Yeah, so it's 4 and 3. So our 4 is bigger. Because our 4 is bigger, we go back. What times 4 is equal to 3? This is where Shane mentioned 32. Because there's no such thing as something times 4 is equal to 3. There's nothing like that. We need to bring down the 2. We need to make it, right? We need to add the second column. So we need to say 32. So the question now is, what times 4 is equal to 32 or less? What times 4 is equal to 32 or less? Eight. Yes, thank you. 8. So all we got to do, right, is add 8 to my quotient. I add my 8 to my quotient, right? I add my 8 to my quotient. And then what do? I take away 30 and take away 2. I take away 30 and then take away 2. So my final answer is 28. Yes, thank you, Shane. LU, thank you. Thank you, Miss Amazing. Does that make sense? And we're done. try to go a little bit slower because I don't want to confuse anybody. It is different. Ah, found it. It is different than mainstream math. This is what I was looking for. The quotient and our dividend. The quotient and our dividend. That's what I was looking for. And we're moving it. So what we're doing is we're understanding how to do division. There's new math. The way they do it is, I don't know. How many times can I get to 100? I don't know. Like conceptually, I don't know why they would do this, but they just do like repetitive subtraction. I always want to know how to do this. Almost 4 a.m. I'm too tired to absorb any of this information. Not a problem, Maven. I'm always live, so you can catch me during the day. And yeah, you can catch me during the day. Not a problem. I understand that. Yes, my child comes home with long math. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting why they do this. I don't. I don't teach this. It's irritating. Yeah. So this one is long division in Abacus. So, how did you learn this? My dad wanted to open up a learning center to teach the children, and so he, like all Chinese parents do, they force the kids to learn, and so I learned. I was already old. I was like 30 when I learned, and we opened up a business, and ever since then, I've been teaching for about 20 years now. Uh, to a bunch of I've just been teaching abacus for 20 years, and now since my kids are older, I have more time to be creative with my workbooks. So when I teach her my way, she gets it wrong even with the right answer. That's interesting. Um, how strong is she in her multiple? I honestly don't like the old way of division either, because I was looking at that, and what did they do? They did there was like a big number, like 620, right? Divided 625 divided by 25, and then they said, okay, well, we need to know that 25 times 2 is equal to 50, and then 25 times 3 is equal to 75, and then 25 times 4 is equal to 100. I didn't like this. Whereas in here, we break it up into smaller chunks. So, I hope you're progressing well. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, have a good night, Nan. Thank you. Na-san. Yeah. In Abacus, we make it into bite-sized chunks, and it's all about, the process and the procedure. And so it's interesting to see, like, how it's different from mainstream math. Yeah, yeah. I wonder how they do it. That's how I taught her. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't, but I don't like this either. This way, we do. I like this way because we solidify our multiplication fact. Right. And then, but obviously, division doesn't happen until later. Yeah, that's how I teach her. Me neither. Exactly. So yeah, when we're looking at it, so I mean, I could show you a multiplication question. I don't know if you were here for that. So in multiplication, this was a nice one. So multiplication, what we're going to do is we're going to find our starting point, right? Again, what we do is we need to figure out where we're going to put our answer, and then on the abacus, we all we got to do is we have to just count our digits. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the abacus, right, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're over here. When we not multiply, we do 6 times 1. 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. I add 1, I add 2. Notice I don't say 60 times 20 is equal to 100, 1,200. We don't need to say that. The reason why is because the abacus does it for me. On the abacus, it already tells me 1,200. So when we're looking at 6 times 4 is equal to 24. I add my 2, I add my 4. Now what? I start with 3. 8 times 2 is, 8 times 2 is equal to 16. Add my 1, add 1. We know how to add the 1 here. Is that right? Yep, we need to add the 1. To add the 1, we need to plus the 1 is equal to plus the 5 minus 4. Plus the 1 minus the 4. And then here we need to add the 6, right? We need to add the 6. When we add the 6, what are we going to do? We need to add the 6. Plus the 6 is equal to plus the 10 minus 4. Plus the 10 minus the 4. And then I'm over here. What? Nope, I'm not over there. I am tired. All right, this is my last. When I get tired and I make mistakes, I know I'm done. All right, let me restart that. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're over here. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Add my 1, add my 2. 6 times 4 is 24. I add 2, I add 4. Yes. Then I'm here. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. I add my 1, I add my 6. Add my 1, plus the 5 minus the 4. Add my 6. Plus 6 is equal to plus the 10 minus 4. Plus the 10 minus the 4. And then I add the 4. Alright, there we go. Wow, that was a little bit harder than I thought. Alright, so my final answer is 1,604. Don't be discouraged, okay? Yeah, thanks. It's also very late, so I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, when I make mistakes, then I know I'm tired. And I will be signing off very soon. So I apologize for those that are coming in, but I am going to end the live. Does anybody else have any questions? The answer is yeah. Yes, it is. The answer is 32Z. Yeah. Yeah. All right. How are we doing? Any other questions that I can possibly answer, but that is not actually specific math questions. But yeah. How are we doing? We're all right? It's crazy. Like, everybody's... Oh, you know what? If people can help me, please put in MDW in the chat. Because this is for the Memorial Day weekend. How do you sell a math tool but get the wrong answer? Thank you so much, Miss Amazing. Thank you so much. What is the, what? I don't even know what it is. It's 24 times that by 68. Oh yeah, it is 32. Yeah, see? I'm tired. Thank you so much, Shane. Thank you so much, Miss Amazing. Vody. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that this is the incorrect answer. Sorry. I'm tired. So, that's what happens when performing on. Thank you guys so much for your help. Okay, if there's no other questions, I know I need to end it. Thank you, PS. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. Maybe next time. Maybe. Thank you, MK. Thank you, MK. You're still here. Now I'm really bothered. Now I gotta make sure it's correct. Okay, wait. Let me do that again. 6 times is 12. 12, right? 6 times 4 is 24, right? So then 8 is 16, plus the 1, plus the 6, plus the 6, plus the 10 minus the 4. And then 32. Got it. Yeah, what was the problem? You know what? The problem was I didn't have my 4 times 8. That's what it was. I didn't finish. Thank you, Voidy. Yeah, I didn't finish the 4 times. Yeah, it was supposed to be 4 times 8 times 4 is 32. That's what it is. Thank you. 32. There we go. There we go. 32. Thank you, Miss Amazing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I appreciate all the comments and the questions. And the corrections. Thank you, Voidy. No, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just I just got tired all of a sudden. But I know when I make mistakes like that, it's time for me to end the live. But I appreciate everybody's help. Thank you guys for all your help. Whew, this was fun. Really cool way to learn math. Yeah, I think so too. Especially since you can see it, right? And you can say and have critical thinking when you go through the answers. But that's one of the things is making sure that you know have a that you keep it in your head. You know you're tracking your numbers and stuff. So I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope it works well for you, PS. And like let me know if you have any questions or any other any other questions. Let me know. I'm here, or if you're going to be a part of my email list, you can always contact me through my email. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you, NCAF, for the rose. Thank you for the rose. Thank you, Nansu, for the heart me. You guys, awesome. Thank you guys so much for all your help. I appreciate that. Let him cook and you're awesome. That's funny. Have a good night. Thank you. No, thank you. Have a good night. Good night, Veer. And I don't know. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a good night. See you guys all in my next live. Bye.